Arriving at Osgoode Station. Doors will open on the left.
Hey everyone, it is Saturday, July 22nd. The time is 2:03 p.m. and I'm here at Osgoode subway station in downtown Toronto. And I'll be heading up to street level in a minute here. And I plan on heading west along Queen Street West between here, which is at the intersection of Queen and University, and making my way over to Ossington. And that is where Ozfest is being held. And the plan is, once I get there, to record another video walking through that festival. I'm not sure which video will find its way in the channel first, but I will link to that video in the description of this one, or at least if I can remember to. And I think it's about 26 degrees Celsius outside right now, so it's a pretty warm day so far. So this is University Avenue here, and last week this entrance to the station was closed off. So here we are at Queen and University, and just to the left you'll find yourself walking by City Hall and Nathan Phillips Square. And that'll lead you over to the Eaton Centre. I'm tempted to go that way, but we'll cross through this maze here. And that's a look south. On the left side is the financial district, and on the right, the entertainment district. So this is west along the south side of Queen Street West. Although I think I'm going to cross over to the north side of the street. The last few times I walked through here, I walked along the south side. And this walk should be about 2.7 kilometers or so. And this first stretch between University and Spadina was something of a cultural nexus in the city back in the 80s. It was known for a number of greasy spoon and affordable restaurants and low-cost housing.
Survive! Survive!
And it was also, believe it or not, where the city's punk rock scene used to revolve around. There was an eclectic mix of musicians and artists in the area. But in the late 1980s, it really started to gentrify and change in character quite a bit.
You get more points that way.
And I think that started when City TV moved into the old Chum building up ahead, and much music followed. And then a bunch of big, large commercial corporate entities moved in, such as Le Chateau and Club Monaco. And the smaller retailers were pushed out, and some of the music and art venues. And it's been pretty much on that trajectory ever since. Coming out here is now just as expensive as anywhere else in the city.
How's it going?
There's a double-decker sightseeing tour bus. And this is McCall Street. So the Queen streetcars here will be turning north up McCall and then diverting along Dundas Street. That's due to Ontario Line construction just to the east of here. There's the building where City TV moved into. It's now owned by Bell Globe Media. It's an outdoor patio. That's one of the more affordable places to eat and get a drink here. That's actually a chain called The Warehouse.
You guys have to keep it at like negative.
That's Travel Rhythm. There's a few vintage clothing stores that have been at various locations along Queen Street for quite a while, including the Black Market coming up. And to the right is Grange Park. And this is John Street. That'll take you through the heart of the entertainment district.
That's so cool.
And they used to have a location across the street. I remember where this Shoppers Drug Mart is on the right. At one point it was a clothing retailer called Urban Planet.
Yeah, but if you get into it, I have pubs, so.
I'm gonna register for course.
And this would be Beverly Street. Fortunately, the sidewalk gets a little wider coming up. It is hot. Good thing I put sunscreen on. There's a vacant retail store, or storefront. This first stretch of Queen Street's probably one of my top 3 most recorded stretches in the city. As we walk by the Black Bull, one of the oldest pubs. The other ones I think would be Yonge Street and probably Bloor Street West around the Annex. There's Mountain Equipment Co-op. That used to be just south of here on King Street. And there's a nice wide sidewalk on the north side of Queen here, but on the south side, not so much. And don't be fooled. Vintage clothes can be as or even more expensive than new clothes these days. It's weird to see this store without a lineup in front of it. And here's one of the remaining places from the 80s, back when this was a cool strip to be on. Some people would still say it is, but it's obviously changed a lot in character. There's Club Monaco on that side of the street. Steve's Music Store, they've been here for a while. They've got a location in downtown Montreal. And a mattress in a box company, Casper, has a retail outlet here. There's where H&M used to be. They also closed a very similar store up on Bloor Street in Yorkville, and that one has become a fabric land. And here's another one of the older venues, the Horseshoe. I used to listen to Bookie on Edge 102. And I believe there's a little cubbyhole between this A&W and the Horseshoe. I haven't been to the Horseshoe in like 10 years. And this corner is the future home of a crosstown station. Same with the street corner where I started. Hence the CIBC being shut down. And the building on the southwest corner over there. But this is Spadina. Just north of here is Chinatown. think this is unanimously considered the worst McDonald's downtown. I can't walk by it without people making comments. And on the right is the Alexandra Park neighborhood. I did a walk through here last week. That should be up on the channel by the time you see this. And Cameron here has been here forever, well over 2 decades. It's another one of the older venues that have survived all the changes. And on the south side of Queen, running parallel, half a block in, is Graffiti Alley. That's always worth checking out. If you want to waste some money, in there, solves all problems in life. All right. My bullshit meter just flew off the charts there. There's a look into Graffiti Alley. That laneway there leads right into it. It's not too often I have to worry about this camera overheating, but it is getting pretty hot. Yeah, okay. You're not an asshole. It's very appropriate to drive that fast through an area like this.
I think that's funny.
And this is Augusta Avenue coming up. There's a large stretch of buildings on the south side that burnt down in 2008. And I think that is just west of Portland Street. So we should be walking by that in a few blocks. There's the Java Cafe. That's been here for a while.
Yeah, but it's sort of like
Oh my god.
There's a lot of activity going on that stretch of Graffiti Alley. Mushroom dispensary.
see what our fine.
There's the Velvet Underground on the right. On the 28th, Arrows in Action, and on the 29th and 30th, Hobo Johnson is playing, whoever that is.
Neutron.
So for the most part, the retail character along here, I guess the building form would be a better way to describe it, are 2- and 3-story low-rises. But you'll notice a lot of condos have popped up just south of Queen along Richmond.
What are they gonna do? How did they know?
So in 2008, starting where that Osmos is, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to step on the road in case a cyclist or something comes, but all the way over to where that white building is. It says Optical 30 right there. Burnt down in a fire, and there was a lot of concern that the new buildings going in wouldn't quite replace the character of the older ones, but I think they did a pretty good job. It's a brand new building straight across the street. Obviously, they haven't sorted out that plot of land. And there is the Bovine Sex Club. That's been a mainstay. That's one of the first nightclubs along this stretch. Those two buildings across the street are brand new, or fairly new. And coming up is Bathurst Street. There's a rare 6-story building along this stretch with the Value Village in the first few floors. And a CB2 right next to it. I believe CB stands for Crate and Barrel. This is Bathurst Street. And we're about to leave downtown and enter a stretch of Queen once listed in Vogue magazine as one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world. That'll be West Queen West. That runs between Bathurst here and Dufferin to the west, which is the beginning of the Parkdale neighborhood. As mentioned, when I get to Ossington, I'll start recording the next video. That's the 6th Ozfest. The stretch of Ossington between Queen and Dundas has become quite popular over the years. I think I recorded that festival last year. West Queen West, the Art and Design District, according to that sign. And there's a pole star. It's nice being in the shade. It's not as busy as I thought it would be along here. I think there's another festival up on Eglinton showing off classic and modern cars along Eglinton West. I don't think I'll be getting that to that one later today. I think I'm just going to record these two videos. And we are at Palmerston. Palmerston Avenue, north of College, it becomes Palmerston Boulevard. And I think a long time ago, someone correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but right on the south side of Queen here, there used to be a Future Bakery. There's still a Future Bistro, which is a related chain, or a related location up on Bloor Street West in the Annex. But I remember going to a Future Bakery down in this area.
Ice cream place.
There's an Anthropology.
맞아.
I got a fucking guitar.
Yeah.
Pepsi Peeps. Older, hard to get snacks are becoming an in thing these days. Little yard sale going on there.
That would
Honestly, everything changes.
I'm like trying to help out more.
No, it's gonna be wild.
And this is the north end of Niagara Street. And in a few blocks, we'll be at Trinity Bellwoods Park, where the neighborhood on the north or right side of Queen Street takes its name from. And that runs between Bathurst Street, which is behind me, to the east, Queen Street to the south here, Dover Court, which is off to the west, and I think College Street to the north of here. So it's quite a large neighborhood area.
On the flip side, if you but no, it's not gonna be like.
Methinks there might be a wedding here this weekend. And here's Trinity Bellwoods Park on the right, and in a few weeks, you'll legally be able to crack open a cold one in this park.
Yeah.
And Trinity Bellwoods was where Trinity College, which later became part of the University of Toronto, was originally located. I don't know if there's been any white squirrel sightings in a while, but there's one that's quite well known to the area that was often seen in this park several years ago.
So that's gonna happen then.
And we've made it to Strawn. So the main entrance gates to the park. You can pause that if you want to read more about Trinity College, located here between 1852 and 1925.
Can we slow down?
I'm not too far from the destination for this one, Ossington Avenue. It'll be coming up in a few blocks. And over there on the left are the chocolate factory lofts. Or rather, the candy factory. Sorry about that.
She's here. She's on Queen and John.
Yeah.
That girl's eyes were locked on at the camera as she walked by. I'm often paying attention to see if people are looking at the camera or not.
Which is like,
And it looks like there's a market going on just south of here. Let's cut through there quickly. Those swimsuits are 80 bucks. Hey, we hit 10K steps, and the day is young. I've come across this market before by accident. I think it might have been on the same weekend last year after I recorded Ozfest in the other direction. This is on the grounds of the old Queen Street Mental Health Asylum. Which is now occupied by CAMH, the Center for Mental Health and Addiction. Let's get back over to the north side of the street. And we are almost at Ossington Avenue, where Ozfest is taking place.
yeah, I thought I recognized it when
These tables here are creating quite the logjam. All right, but there we go for part one of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Walking west along Queen Street West from Osgoode Station to here at Ossington and Queen, where Ozfest is taking place. I'm about to record a video heading up there. I'm not sure which one I'll get around to posting first on the channel. But if I remember to, I will link to that video in the description of this one once it goes up. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account and a Threads account at Johnny Strides. And there is a super thanks button appearing below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink!